Good afternoon, Marguerite.
Hi, Judy. Nice to see you.
Yes, and nice to see you again. I just met with you just now with our Rotary Club. We do Zoom meetings now once a week or every
Yes.
second week. So I have with me Marguerite Ward. She is the current president of the Rotary Club of Dundas, and I'm also a member of the Rotary Club of Dundas, as well as I work with Jack Loft and Loft Realty. So I was going to ask Marguerite, and we're going to have a bit of a discussion about Rotary and what it's all about. So tell me, Marguerite, if you would please just describe a little bit of what Rotary is.
Okay, it's a group of people that come together. Often are people that are in various professions. There's an element of networking in a community. I think principally today, people join because of service. The idea of Rotary, the motto is service above self. And I think that's what draws people today. And we meet normally on a weekly basis. We have guests to help keep us informed of what's going on in our community. And we get involved in raising funds, usually where we, applying our muscle, like Lobster Fest, etc., to raise money so that we can help do things in the community. And our club, by the way, in Dundas is just about 75 years old. So it's got a nice long heritage.
Yeah, and as everybody is, we're adapting to the virus. The morning club did a great job on having a virtual fireworks on Victoria Day weekend instead of the usual live version. And I think that's the first time that's happened since the Second World War, apparently. But we're all doing the best we can. And you are the president. You're almost finished for your term.
Yes.
Which will be quite relief, I'm sure, in some ways. I know from experience it's quite a busy time doing that role. What do you think attracts people then at this point? You think you said mostly you believe it's the service aspect.
I think certainly younger members, I think, are looking for a place where they can contribute to give back to community. And so I think less maybe desire to be attending meetings on a weekly basis or whatever, but to get their, roll up their sleeves and give back to community.
Yeah, and we've got some members who have been there for many, many years. And I myself, I used to enjoy once a week, you'd go and you'd sit with people, different people every week, but it was always fun to have the conversation. And then we have lunch, and as you say, a speaker, and there's a bit of a structure to the meetings, but they're meant to be casual and fun, and we're always looking for projects to get involved in. So it is quite fun as well as anything else.
Yeah, I find it something I look forward to every week for sure.
Me too. We met at the golf club for 35 years, and then the museum, I think, for maybe 3 years now. And I don't know when we'll be going back, but I'm sure at some point we will be. Tuesdays at noon, every Tuesday at noon.
Yes, and who knows when that we're going back. Yeah,
exactly right. So what do you think would be some of the challenges that you see, not just with the virus, because that's an obvious one, but just over time? I mean, things change, and we have had our challenges, and we will continue to do so. And I'm not quite sure what you think most of those are and how we can deal with them.
I think change is always difficult, and Rotary has really, at least in our club as well, we have sort of two ends. We've got very seasoned Rotarians who have a long history, and then we've got these new ones coming in who really want to be more involved in service, and trying to find a way to close that gap is a challenge. It seems to be more difficult to get the commitment to leadership. Where people take, for example, being the president for a year, and it seems to be harder and harder to get people to sign up for that. We always have a board that sort of guides the Rotary, and I think meeting the needs of a board membership is more difficult than a membership of the club.
Right, exactly right. It is difficult, and we have great opportunities for leadership for younger people. Leadership training, and our district is the only one that straddles the border. We have clubs in northern New York State who are also part of our district, and when the weather's fine, when there's no virus, we do go back and forth for conferences and get-togethers and that, which is kind of fun.
And it seems as if to me there's going to be more of a shift to online training,
Yeah.
which perhaps in our generation we would say, oh, we want to be together more with the people. But I think the younger people are more accustomed rather to going online and learning things, and that doesn't seem to trouble them. So there is a shift in that direction,
It's
even without COVID.
exactly, and it's certainly convenient, these Zoom meetings. Someone
Yeah,
asked me the other day, should we meet at the office? I said, why would we? Like, we'll just do a
yeah,
Zoom meeting. It's
yeah.
so much more
Has
convenient.
it's become a way of life very quickly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you mentioned Lobster Fest, which of course is canceled this year. And also we have our annual Pancake Day on July 1st at Dundas Driving Park, canceled. So like everybody else, we're going to be struggling with fundraising for one thing, but we'll have to regroup when we can.
Yeah, and we raise those funds, of course, to support community initiatives. We do work with our primary areas, really, are with seniors, with youth. We work particularly with roots, and also try to be involved with environmental issues. And that sometimes is really just rolling up our sleeves. But those are our three areas. And so having enough money to do the kind of support we like to do and normally do is going to be a bit of a challenge this year.
Those are all exactly the three areas that we're involved in addition to quite a big presence internationally because of one of our members in particular, Dr. Shankerdas.
Yeah, I would say as a Rotary Club, we're probably one of the stronger international involved clubs, and we've done some major projects which are really making a big impact in other countries of the world. And right now we even have one on offer to us to be involved in, which would be helping in India around the issue of COVID. And if you're watching the news, you would know that really does need attention. So, yeah.
And Kenya, as we know. And what's nice as well is the people who are involved within these other countries, they sometimes are here, sometimes to meet with Dr. Shankerdas or otherwise, but people come and report back to us as to how the project is going or went, and that's very satisfying as well.
Yes, because you can see a good report and a live report, if you will, and that's good. And we've done some pretty significant things within Dundas as well. We've worked we have the parquet by Alaka there, Creekside. That was the work of our club. We've been involved in the seniors center, where the roots are. The clock in the park is there thanks to our club. We've done a lot of various things within the community, and maybe it's harder these days to find larger projects to do, but we give substantial money to keep things operating.
Yeah, we do. And between us and the Morning Club, we've done a lot of things in Dundas. What would you say are your hopes for the future of Rotary? I think we all know and have known for some time that it is changing, it's evolving, and we do have to change with the times. So what would you say to that, Marguerite?
Well, I'd like to think that our club would stay vibrant. I'd like to think that we would be able to adjust to the people who want to belong to Rotary and have different ways that they can do that. Not necessarily having a set pattern of membership. And I think that's a direction that Rotary internationally is starting to allow for people to do. I think how you do it at the local scene is more of a challenge. But I think if we're going to stay vibrant, we have to change. That's what I would say. And then, going back to this whole idea of leadership, I think, can we allow for leadership and Rotary clubs be led in a different way, again, in a way that's easier for people to commit to? I think that would be important.
Yeah. If you stay in the past, you're gonna just get stuck. We have to evolve and change with the times. And this has really brought it to the forefront, the COVID, hasn't it?
Yeah, as it has for many, many organizations. I'm involved in church, and it's the same thing. It's causing us all to assess where we are, what we do, and why we do it. And are there better ways in this current age that we're in? Yeah.
So if people want to join Rotary, their involvement in our club could be involved. There's an orientation period, and then they can become involved in any one of the committees that we have, and they can sort of choose what area of interest they have and then sort of put their effort into that, correct?
Yes, our major things are the community, international, and then we have a group that looks after sort of the club issues as well. But yeah, I think the biggest thing will be that they have more choice of how they participate. Yeah.
All right. And just very briefly, I know you were a Rotarian elsewhere. Just tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Well, my first time that I was actually a Rotarian was in Cape Town, South Africa. My husband has been a Rotarian for many years, and in the olden days, as a wife, you were a Rotary Ann, and I was always an active Rotary Ann. And fortunately, Rotary grew up, I guess, and allowed women to become members. So yay. So that was my first time. And it was a very positive experience for me. I was well supported in a fairly difficult time. It was just at the end of apartheid, and Mandela had just become the president. It was such a time of change. And I was working with battered women and their children, and you know, the suppression of women in Africa at that time. So, and just having this sort of equalizing place that I could go once a week and be with professionals and be encouraged by them, it was amazing for me. And that's what made me committed to Rotary as a way forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in Pakistan as well, you were in Rotary.
Yes, yeah. Although in Pakistan, Bob was the Rotarian again, and that's kind of just a little Salvation Army thing, but where only one of us could belong. But again, I was, you know, going along with Bob every chance I had. Yeah, and that was interesting too, because we did a lot of community work there, and with the polio situation in Pakistan for Rotary, it was a very key place to be, to learn and to be active in that. So yeah, and we tried to involve all of our community programs to be involved in the polio project.
We've been involved in the polio project for years as well.
Yeah, I think the whole world of Rotary.
I think so.
Yeah, and we're almost there.
Yes.
Maybe the next one will be COVID.
Yes. Yeah.
Who knows?
There's just something, I was just going to read a sentence that I kind of like about Rotary, and I don't know if it's Paul Harris who's the founder, if he said it or not, but it's, whatever Rotary may mean to us, to the world it will be known by the results it achieves. It's all about doing good in the world, isn't it?
That's right. And yes, and I think making statements about what needs to happen. And I mean, certainly we're in one of those times right now in our world, and in our the smaller world, if you will, with all that's going on around racism and whatever. And I just always want us to have a voice, and a positive voice and impact on the things that are going on.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a contact. We have a Club Runner website,
yes.
Club Runner. And if people want to get in touch with Rotary, what's the best contact information?
Actually, all you have to do is type in Rotary Club of Dundas, and it will invite you to click on, and you're in, and you can get contacts and information there. Yeah.
So we welcome anybody that's interested to make contact.
For sure. Yeah. Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. COVID or no COVID, you can come.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, Marguerite. I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure talking to you about close, near and dear to both our hearts, I know.
Yeah. And thank you for giving Rotary another little boost.
Yeah. All right. Bye for now, Marguerite.
Bye.
Bye-bye.